Hello everyone, welcome back to Learn C from Scratch course. I hope you guys are enjoying this course, and if you really liked it, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, so today we'll be dealing with if else, right? We all know we use if else in all the languages. So basically, why do we need if else? So sometimes we need to control the flow of a program. Then we can control the program using if and else. Okay, we all know what a flowchart is, right? So here I'm starting the flowchart. Here I've declared two variables, a equals to 2 and b equals to 5. Now here I'm checking. Basically if else is used for checking. Here I'm checking if a is greater than b. I'm asking a question. Now based on the question, see what are the two answers, yes and no. So based on the question, based on the condition, I have generated two paths into the program. If this evaluates to true, then we'll follow this path, and if this is false, we'll follow this path. Okay, I will discuss further more in the next slides. Yeah, this is a basic structure of if, right? If is a keyword. We have already discussed in the previous video what is keyword, what is variable. Okay, so here in the parenthesis we have declared one condition, and this condition returns true or false, and we all know how a computer know it is true or false. If it is true, it will return 1, and if it is false, it will return 0. Like if it is true, now if the condition is true, if this condition satisfies, the program will simply, like the program is executing like here step by step, statement by statement. Then when it will check this condition, if it is true, then the program flow will go into these braces and it will execute these statements, and when it sees one ending parenthesis, it will go out and it will go out of the brace and it will execute these lines, other lines of the program. So if this condition fails, right, if this condition evaluates to 0, that is false, then the program flow won't go into these statements. It will simply skip all these lines and go out, and it will execute the next lines. Okay, it will not go into this braces. Okay, now another thing is if else, right? So when we've this condition is true, it will execute all these statements, right? It will go out and it will go and execute these statements out here, right there. And if this evaluates to 0, if this condition is failed, then what it will do, it will not execute all this. So let me clear the screen. If this is 0, this condition is false, then the program flow will not go and execute these statements. Rather, it will skip all these statements and go to else part, and else part will go here and execute these statements. I hope it's clear, right? So let's take an example. Okay, let's take an example. Okay, let's take a equals to 2 and b equals to 5. Okay, here we check if a is greater than b. If a is greater than b, so 2 is greater than 5, we are asking a question. Suppose this condition right here is here, right? Is it true? No. So what will return? It will return false. False means 0. So this condition is 0. So the program flow will not get into this if, these statements. It will simply skip all this and it will execute this else, right? Now if we check, if we do a less than b, if we check that in this condition, right, if we check that, now 2 is less than 5, yes it is true, then what will do, it will return here, it will return 1. And if this condition is 1, then the program flow will execute these statements and it will get out of this if area, and it will not execute this else. So it will go and execute these lines. Basically, if this condition true, then execute this. If not true, then execute this. If do this. If this is true, do this. If this is not true, do this. Right? Now we have to know another thing, that is multiple conditions. Now using if and else if, we can define multiple condition. If this condition is true, then we'll execute this, and if this condition is true, then the program flow will go into this and execute this. If one condition is true, then the program will not execute all these lines, it will go out and execute here the other lines of the program. Now if this condition is not true, if this condition failed, then it will come here and check this condition. If this condition is true, then it will execute this and it will go out and execute these lines. Then again, if this condition is also not true, like if this condition is not true, this condition is not true, then what will do, it will go to the else part and it will execute this statement. I hope this is clear for you. I'll explain this later using one example. Okay, now what is nested if? Nested if else. Nested if else, if there is a condition, right, if there is a condition, this condition is true, then it will go and execute this. Now again you can see another if into this if, one into another, right? If this is also true, then this will execute this. Now we can do this if, right? We can give one into another, one if into another if, right? This is called nested if else. So if this condition is true, then it will execute this statement and will not execute this else. And if this is true, then it will, if when it will go out, it will not execute else if and else, it will go out and print and will execute the other statements, right? Now suppose I hope things are clear to you right now. Now if this condition is not true, let's say, then what will happen, the program flow won't get into this, right? The program will go here, it will check the condition is false, it will go here and check if this condition, again this condition, right? I've already discussed if else later. If this condition is not true, it will check this, and if this condition is true, it will execute this statement and will go out and not execute else, and here it will execute the other statements. Now if all this condition is not true, then it will execute this else part. I hope this is clear right now for you. Okay, now I have a small program to demonstrate. Okay, give me some time. Yeah, just give me some time, let it reload. Okay, now here you can see I've declared two variable, number 1 and number 2. Okay, two variable, printf enter two integers, so two integers will be will enter. Suppose the numbers are, say, number 1 is 5 and number 2 is 6, right? If I'm checking here, right, see, if number 1 is greater than number 2, if 5 is greater than 6, I'm asking questions, right? If 5 is greater than 6, so this is basically no, so it will not execute this if part, right? So what will do, if this is not true, then it will go else and print this. So 5 is less than 6, this is result, right? I hope things are making sense right now, little bit, right? If it's not, please ask me in the comment section, I'll try to answer all the queries. Yeah, now this else part is printed, right? So the result is like this. Now let's clear the screen, and let's say now take number 1 is 6 and number 2 is 5. Okay, now here we're checking if number 6 is greater than number 5. Now yeah, this is true, right? Number 6 is greater than 5, so it will return 1. This is true, so the program flow will enter this if, right? This will execute. Now if this else is now execute, no, this else is not execute, because this is true, so it will go here and it will go out, right? Then it will return 0. So now what happens here is, now if this condition is true, it will check another if, right? This is a nested if. Here I'm checking if 6 is equals to 5. This is equals to operator, we know that already in the operator video, right? So this is not true, right? 6 is not equal to 5, so this else is wrong. Then we'll go to this else and print result 6 greater than 5, because this first is number 1 and number 2, so number 1 is 6, here 6 and 5, right? So it will print this. I hope this is clear right now, and after that it will go out and print this. So let me run the program for you so that things will be clear for you. Okay, give me some time. Yeah, let's say giving 5 and 6. Now see, 5 less than 6, right? Now let's check another example. Let's say 6 and 5, 6 greater than 5, right? So thanks for watching. I hope this if else part is clear for you. Please solve some examples out there. There are lots of examples, lots of questions out there in the internet. So I'll be coming next with loop, for loop, do while loops. So thanks for watching, and if you have not subscribed my channel, do it immediately. Thank you.